Welcome to the Women Honoring Women event, which is going to be a Doyenne event this year. And this year we are focusing on revisiting some of our past honorees who are our first group of Doyennes. And today we have the Honorable Judge Sybil Cleveland joining us. We want to ask you a little bit about, if you can share a little bit about your education and your career path.
So there were a lot of challenges going through school, but one goal that I had was to one day attend the University of North Alabama and go to law school. And of course I did. I ended up going a different career path to get there due to some personal challenges that I had when I lost both my parents. But I went to Calhoun for 2 years, had a great experience at Calhoun. Was so grateful to my time there, and was glad that was a part of my trajectory. So I transferred from Calhoun to the University of North Alabama, another tremendous experience, and from there to Sanford, to Cumberland School of Law. Graduating in 1990, and I've been here in the Huntsville, Madison County community since 1991.
Oh, very awesome. A very interesting education path that you have there, and so glad that it ended up right back here in Madison County in North Alabama.
Absolutely.
So now I want to ask you about your experience with the WEDC Foundation. When was it that you first became aware of the WEDC Foundation?
When a friend of mine asked me to attend a Women Honoring Women event. I can recall some of the honorees. I want to say that was the first time I got to know a past honoree by the name of Bobby Bradley, who I have most amount of admiration and respect for, and just so inspired by the things she does in our community. But I remember sitting at that event and hearing about the stories, the very impactful stories of the recipients, and I was truly blown away. I mean, I felt like I was, in the community surrounded by nothing but some of the best and brightest women that our community had to offer our world.
Okay, so you've touched on being able to meet some of our former honorees, and you yourself were an honoree last year. Now I want to explore your experience on a personal level. What was it like to be an honoree? What did you experience? What did you feel? What were some of the emotions that you went through as you were going through that process of being an honoree for the WEDC Foundation?
Well, I can still remember how it felt when I first opened up my email and saw that I had been chosen. I remember, for years, seeing all the list of women who were being honored, and to think that I would even be considered alongside some of the previous honorees and the honorees that were going to be also receiving the recognition was so humbling to me. So I actually cried. I mean, I did. It was just, it was a moment of just being, just enthralled, thinking that, well, I remember all those years ago and hearing of the stories of the women when I first learned of WEDC, and now I am being recognized alongside these people. It was truly something that touched my heart.
Well, I know you are one of the prominent female leaders in our community, and a lot of people look up to you and look to you for inspiration. And I know that you are asked on many occasions to participate in different events, to speak at different events, and do lots of very worthwhile activities, but you're only one person. How do you choose what to do and what not to do, and why was this event something you wanted to do again?
First of all, I have to feel a connection with whatever the mission is of an organization that's inviting me to speak. I'm very passionate about issues that deal with children, of course. So one of the reasons that I was so inclined to accept the invitation for the Doyenne event was the fact that the WEDC Foundation does so much to help women and to empower women to be independent, to be economically independent.
Very good. Some of the pillars of the WEDC Foundation that we have for our scholars are we provide flexible financial assistance, we provide mentoring, and professional development workshops. What is your position on mentoring, and have you ever had a mentor, and what do you think about the how mentors can help people along in their career paths?
There is no way that I would be here in the position that I'm in today without the help of mentors. I've had mentors throughout my life. Some of my first mentors were my older sisters. I was the younger of the youngest in my family. So my sisters and my brothers took me under their wing, and I learned not to make the mistakes that they made. And from there, throughout college and my legal career, I've had some of the greatest mentors in our community. Some of your past honorees have been my mentors. Judge Martha Lynn Sherrard was a great mentor when I first moved here to Huntsville to work in the DA's office. In fact, she was one of the ones who recruited me here, and she's been by my side ever since. Also, along the way, I met a former honoree, Miss Brenda Martin, when I was just a teenager, and she taught me my social graces and learned. She taught me how to, be confident in myself. And so, what do I think about mentoring? I think mentoring is a way of being able to unselfishly give of yourself to help someone else.
Now, I wanted to know, this is such a great program for our young ladies who are scholars. What do you think this program would have been for you if this had been available to you when you were a sophomore or a junior in college pursuing your education? How could something like this, a program like this, made an impact on your professional growth and trajectory?
Had there been anything like the WEDC Foundation in my community back then, I would have been one of the first ones trying to, find out how I could be a part of that. Just the amount of professional support, the financial support, the spiritual support, just that camaraderie that the WEDC mentors give the scholars is so invaluable. That mentor-mentee relationship, it's bi-directional. I know that the mentors most likely get just as much, if not more, out of the experience than the mentees. So had I had an opportunity to have that experience with all of that support, definitely, I would have taken, the advantage of the opportunity to do something like that. I would have been grateful for it.
Now, a lot of people that are successful leaders, they have a mantra or something that keeps them motivated. What is it that keeps you motivated to do the things that you do? Because I know that it can't be easy every day, and every day can't be as sunshine and roses as you may portray it to be on your face. But what do you do? What do you say to yourself? What mantras do you have that keep you motivated and encouraged?
I'm inspired by helping people find hope again. When I go out to give speeches, I usually will close my speech because I talk a lot about challenges and my own personal challenges and the challenges that I have in helping the families and the people in our community. And I usually end it with a quote. It's a quote from a philosopher, Confucius, and it goes something like this, and it is my mantra: our greatest glory in life is not in never falling. Our greatest joy comes from rising every time we fall.
If there's anything else that you could say to our scholars to keep them encouraged, even during these difficult times when things are topsy-turvy, we're in an environment that we have never experienced before, what would you say to our scholars to keep them encouraged and motivated?
Well, I would tell them they can never, ever give up. They can never, ever stop trying. But here is what I would say to them. Life is truly a journey. It's not a destination. Live your life to the fullest. Be proud of yourself. Encourage others. And smile, even when it hurts.
Man, love that, love that. Now, we want to switch focuses a little bit. The WEDC Foundation does amazing work, and we are impacting lives on a daily basis. What do you want to tell those who support the WEDC Foundation why this is so important and why we have to continue to do what we do?
The WEDC Foundation, they are changing lives. They are not just changing the lives of the scholars who benefit from the help and the resources. They are changing generations of lives. And when we change generations of lives, it impacts the overall quality of life for our community. I believe that the work that the WEDC is doing is so important that it is something that we just simply cannot do without. We cannot have the thriving, strong community without an organization like this who is helping to give hope and help to empower our very well-deserving women in our community. Won't you join us in supporting the WEDC Foundation?